Welcome back, my muffins of Chaldea, and this is going to be my personal tier list for the upcoming 5-star ticket. Now, obviously, I can easily talk to myself about this, but instead of talking to myself, I figured I'd kind of ramble about it and post it for everyone to judge me. And in regards to that, I'm hoping that everyone here can help me out with my decision, because I'm very much stuck on who I should be choosing. I'm stuck between choosing someone that's completely new, or should I rather go the opposite route and choose to strengthen someone that I already have. So I'm hoping that if I just kind of lay it all out here in a tier list, it'll help me gain some clarity as to who I might really be interested in. And I'm also really looking forward to what you all have to say and who you think I should potentially go for, and who you would like to see more gameplay from in terms of challenge quests or just event gameplay as a whole. This is not a tier list for what I recommend you should be getting, because if that was the case, this would be a very short video. There are two options you should get. If you don't have her, that's your number one option. If you do have Nightingale, then that's your other option. These are your two only options for this ticket. Nothing else matters. If you have both of them already, well, congratulations. You must be a very happy master. But if you have both of them already, then at that point you just choose the DPS that you want the most, and you have fun with it. As for my predicament, unfortunately, I have both of them, and I have majority of almost all of these, aside from 3 servants. So we're going to get to those, and I'm going to want your help at the very end, or whatever point you want. Please let me know in the comments what servant that you think I should go for. So without further ado, we're going to get right into it. I'm going to make this rather quick. So Artemis, right here off the bat, is going to go to Expired, simply because I already have her NP2 and I don't use her at all, just because I have a plethora of single target archers that I love. So she's definitely not even in the running. But please let me know if you do want to see more Artemis gameplay, because I feel like that's very seldom on the channel, on YouTube as a whole. Next we have Achilles, my Grand Rider. Unfortunately, he's going to go right at the store, because I already have him NP2 and he's Bond 10. For those that don't already know, for me, I like to get as many Bond 10 servants as possible, especially because I'm trying to get my Grand Servants, one for each class, to be Bond 10. Achilles is already Bond 10, so I'm not really using him as much except for challenge quests. So, and because he's already NP2, I don't really feel like he needs to be stronger, and that's something I can easily wait for a spook in case I want it. Next, we have Arjuna, who's going to be in the same predicament. Actually, I'm going to put Arjuna in Expired because he's already NP3. He has spooked me on 3 separate occasions, and I definitely don't need more of him. I do like using him, though, so he's definitely a servant that's fun, and I prefer using him over my Gilgamesh. That's NP1. Not really just for the damage numbers, but because he's really fun, and I like his skill set more. It's more entertaining to me, especially that pretty much every single turn debuff immunity. Next we have Saber. OG Saber is going to go right in the pantry. She is actually my most used Buster AoE Saber right now, and that's simply because, and I'll do her next, Mordred is going to go at the store. Mordred is just like Achilles, is that already Bond 10, already max skill, and is not even just NP2, but is actually NP3. So, but because she's already Bond 10 and I don't use her anymore as my farming servant, I'm now going back to using OG Saber. And OG Saber, though, is not higher because she's already NP2. I could go for more because, unlike Achilles, she isn't Bond 10 yet, so I'm going to be using her a lot more. But I don't think it's necessary yet. But let me know if you want more Saber gameplay. NP3 may not be a terrible choice. Speaking of Sabers, we have the next on our list, Altera. Altera, I feel like, is a servant that desperately needs another animation update, because she's just underutilized completely all over YouTube. And I'm going to make it a priority for myself to use her more often, because I feel like no one does. But mine is only at NP1, so I'm going to put her on the table, because you know what? I feel like I need to give her some more love. There's so many Sabers in this game, but I feel like not enough people show OG Altera enough love. Bradamante is going to be on the table as well. I only have her at NP1. I don't use her much. I have a plethora of Lancers that are fantastic, and high NP level, especially because I just got Canis, but she is entertaining. I like her animations. I'm not a big fan of her voice, unfortunately, which is one of the main deterrents for me, but let me know what you all think. If you want to see more gameplay of her, I would love to, change things up a bit. Next, we have Enkidu. My Enkidu is already at NP2, and I do not use him often enough, so I'm going to put him at the store for now. Next, we've come to the first servant that on this list that I do not have at all, and just for that is going to be at the top, and that's Europa. Europa, definitely there's some bias because of Olympus right now, so she's definitely up top there. But let me know if you want Europa or someone else that is also going to be at the top. Speaking of riders, we have Drake. Drake is someone that after I've bond-tended my Achilles, I'm using a lot. She is already NP2, however, but I'm going to keep her on the table because I am starting to really love her a lot more and more, especially because I got her really early on and just didn't use her too much, but I'm starting to use her a lot more often again recently. I highly recommend Drake for those that want a new AoE rider as well because she's super fun to use. Next, we have Vanilla Jean. I'm going to put in the pantry. She's only NP1. She is held back for me a lot because, not of her skill set, but because of her lack of animations. I really wish they would update her animations, her and Jalter, just because it's really sad how some of these, amazing OG characters that are so, kind of a mainstay for the Fate franchise, and they're still not updating her. So it's kind of criminal on my end, on my head on that. Next, we have Jinako. Jinako would have been up here in the top because of how weak her NP1 is, but she just spooked me for those that saw my Roma rolls. And so for that, I'm going to put her in expired because now I really don't want another copy of her. Next, we have Jack the Ripper. I'm going to put her in the pantry. I'm going to be using her a lot more often now that, she got her animation update, a while ago at this point, but I haven't really used her much, and I honestly forgot about that animation update, but I'm going to start using her more. Karna's going to be at the store. Same thing with Mordred. Already NP3, Bond 10. I have no further use for him. Osaki Bihime is going to be at the top. I really, again, because that's another servant that I do not have, and I'm not sure what direction I should go with. Ozzy's going to be right on the table as well. Here's the problem with Ozzy. I only have him in NP1. I love using him, but the second, and I mean the second I get Quetzalcoatl, he is like never going to be used aside from support. If I need a 20% charger that needs to be a rider, probably going to use him. Maybe occasionally on challenge quests. But he desperately needs an animation update at this point for me because once Ketz comes, Ketz is going to be the love for my riders, especially single target. Next, we have Napoleon. Napoleon's going to be the first person that I'm going to put at the very top for NP2. I love Napoleon. I love using him. He's super fun, but his NP1 damage is severely lacking. And so just for that, I may consider getting an NP2 copy of him. Next, we got Xuanzang. I just got her recently at NP1. She's very lackluster to me in terms of damage compared to what Elia can do. But her skill set is really fun. But again, animation-wise, she desperately needs an update. But I'm gonna put her on the table. Let me know if you all want caster gameplay more often, who you would prefer to see, Ilya or Xuanzang. Scheherazade next. I have our NP2. She spooked me twice in a row on one banner. I can't remember which. I think it was the summer banner. Expired. I don't use her. Don't want her. I don't care for her. Tamamo. Tamamo's going to be expired. I don't need her in NP2 of her. I have her at NP1. I love my Tamamo. Don't get me wrong. But just for an increased heal, I really don't need NP2. Just because I'm usually using her with a second Tamamo as is. And most of the servants that I use them with have pretty good survivability as is. Vlad's going to be up here on the table as well. I just got him recently. If I didn't get him, he would be at the very top. But because I just got him recently at NP1, NP2 might make him a bit more viable. I'm considering it. Anastasia is the third and final servant on the list that I don't have. I'm very highly considering it. I don't know, though, because she's just an arts AoE caster, and I do love Sieg already as that role. So I don't think she's definitely not necessary. Gameplay-wise, she's not going to really be changing anything for me. So that's also a reason why I'm leaning towards Osaka Behime, because this is a completely different style of gameplay that I don't have yet. But again, I want all of your opinion, who you would like to see. If you really want to see Anastasia gameplay, I could be convinced to get her, because she is new. Same thing with Europa. Next we have Shang Yu. Because he's already NP2, I'm gonna put him at the store. I don't need him stronger than that. He's incredibly powerful as is with that. I'm loving using him recently. I'm still trying to work on his skill levels, but he also needs some really tough materials that I just don't have spare of right now. And then lastly, we have Nightingale and Waver. Now, Waver is going to be immediately expired for me because I definitely don't need NP2 of Waver. Just for that increased defense down. It's really not that important to me. That's easily something I can wait for a spook. And then finally, we have my Grand Berserker, my Grand Servant as a whole, Nightingale. Nightingale is going to be at the very top. I have NP4 Nightingale right now. If I choose to get her right now, that would be my 5th and final copy for NP5, and that would make it the only NP5 5-star I would have in the entire game. I'm hesitant to do that, though, because she has spooked me 4 times already. I'm almost looking forward to just seeing when she would spook me a 5th time, because I see it in the foreseeable future. I know it's going to happen, and so I'm feeling like I'd rather wait just to see when it would happen, what dramatic banner that she'll spook me on. Or should I just get the 5th copy and be done now, and then when she spooks me anytime in the future, get those Spirit Origin tokens or whatever. Anyway, that's my list. So as you can see, these are the top 5 candidates for who my ticket's going to go for most likely. But like I said, I want all of your opinions. Please write in the comments who you will be going for and who you would like to see more gameplay from this list. And I might be swayed to choose someone else to strengthen their MP. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you have a great day.